Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We're back to make another baby. This is Lane. He's an artist kit sculpted by Sandra White. And he's a Bountiful Baby artist kit. He's like 18 inches, but he's got the tiniest little head. And his arms are so long and skinny, and his legs are too. They're really long and skinny. So he's supposed to make an 18-inch baby, so we're going to see. He was sculpted, or molded at least, by Bountiful Baby in 2012. That's what it says on his neckband. So I think he's kind of cute. He's going to make a cute little baby, I think. Put my glasses up there. I can't hardly reborn dolls with glasses on anymore. They're just getting worse and worse. Okay, we're going to start with our blue like we always do. Gotta have water. I'm parched. Okay, here we go. Here's this one. He has a little bit of white residue on it, but never fear, it'll go right away. It doesn't stay. It dissipates as you're baking. It doesn't show up in the end. At least I've never had any problem with that. Sponge. Huh. That sponge is not a good one for dabbing the doll. It's got something on it. I think it's sealer, actually. I think that's the one I was using on sealer. And now it's getting off on the doll. I'm just going to throw it away. It's very powdery and dry, though. I can just rub it off, probably. Yeah, it's just rubbing right off. Okay. I put some in the corner of his eyes right here. On both sides. You might not can see the blue, but you can probably see the shadowy effect. I'm going to put some across his forehead up here. Hopefully one of these brushes has, this does not look like it has any paint in it at all. It does though, a little bit. It's not very dark. I don't like having to rub this much to get the color on them. It's okay though, it'll be all right. And it's just not dark at all. It's not, I mean, it was no need to put it on there. It's so light. Let me try this one. It's just a little too shiny and stark looking if I don't dab it a little. And then when I dab it, it almost goes away. That's probably going to be the best we can do. Which is blue enough, I'm going to say. If it was any bluer, it would, you might even can see the blue. You're not supposed to be able to see that it's blue on camera, in a picture or on a video or anything like that. You shouldn't be able to see the blue, so I can see it just fine. Whether or not you can see it, I don't know, but it's not even. This side goes up higher than that side. There we go, that'll be a little bit better. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to put a little tiny bit of purple because he does have a little bit of spots where some purple can go. Oh, I don't even know if any of these brushes have any color on them. I haven't made a doll in several days, and so no brushes were dipped in those days, and whether or not they had any on them when I left them the last time, I really couldn't tell you. He's just getting a very tiny, tiny bit of purple on him. And little spots. It all just depends on where you want to put it. I like to put it anywhere where there's a little crevice or dimple or wrinkle or anything like that. It gives depth to their facial features a little bit. And this also is very, very, very dry and very light. Now you might can see that I put some right here between his eyes and above his eyebrow ridge where it looks like it's dented in a little bit there to give it a little bit of a shadowy effect. Now we have to put something on his eyes, because if we just go about painting our doll the way we normally do, his eyes will come out looking very pale. So I'm going to put a little bit of purple. It is called eyelid purple for some reason. I think it's because you're supposed to put it on their eyelids. Now that one has a lot of paint in it, and it's very purple. I'll have to dab that a whole bunch, which it's all right, it'll dab and be okay. Now his eyelids look like that. I don't know if you can tell any difference at all. I can barely tell any difference, and he's right in front of me. Just sort of smoothing and kind of spreading out the color a little bit so it doesn't look so stark and dark in some areas and so light in others, if you know what I mean. Okay, now I'm going to give him a little bit of rosy on his face. In fact, I'm going to give him a lot. I like them to have dark rosy color on their face, because by the time you paint them, it needs to be kind of dark to show. I'm going to first paint his lips. I'm going to be very careful doing it. I'm going to try not to get out of his lip line, because there are parts of the face I do not color with red, and I don't want it to be red there when I'm finished, because it looks like you couldn't paint straight lips, and that's what it would be. I couldn't paint straight lips. But this is a very, very light coating, meant to only be a base. It can no way be all the paint you put on the lips. In no way. Because it would just be too light. I'm going to dab it to get all the excess off. And it may not even show very much at all when we're finished. I know you can see it's pinker there. Now we're going to do his ears the same way, except I won't be dabbing so much of that off. Hopefully it's going to stay a little better. Some of these colors, it's the paint, I think. It's not the fact that my dry brushing isn't working. I think it's the paint. It's just not mixed correct. I don't like having to mix the colors because I'm not real good at it. And there is a gnat flying around in here. And the colors come out the wrong shade or something. I don't know how to describe it. They're too light, or they're too pinkish, or they're too something. I don't know what it is. And okay, that gnat's gonna make me nuts today. They're attracted to you by your carbon dioxide you breathe out. We could just go about not breathing. We wouldn't have to worry about it. Bugs bothering us. That's how they find us. They find animals that way too. I think they're drain flies, actually. They get all over the house, but I mean all over the house. But I read on the internet that they actually breed in your drain, which is gross. It's very, very gross. But, you know, we live in an apartment, and the way they build these apartments, I know this because the maintenance man told me this. Like, it's like this is just another room of an upstairs house, and like people above you are going to have their pipes are piped into your pipes, so they drain out together. It's like the whole entire apartment complex is not plumbed separately. It's plumbed like a house, not like separate apartments. Because we don't pay a separate water bill, they pay our water bill. And so it doesn't need to be plumbed that way, you know. And so whenever you turn on your faucet, you're lowering the water pressure for somebody else in another apartment. And when they drain out their sink, it drains through your pipes too. And so whatever somebody puts down the drain, like grease or whatever, it's going to come through your pipes as well. It's gross, I know. Anyway, this way apartments are built. And so we don't put grease down our drains because we know that it will clog it up. But another thing it does, even if it doesn't clog it up, it's going to coat your pipes some. And whatever's coating the inside of your pipes is a food material mostly, you know, unless it's hair. And so the drain flies can get down in there and lay their eggs, and their larva eats that food until they become a fly as well and fly out of the drain. It's gross, I know. But anyway, I ordered some stuff. I haven't gotten it yet. I think it must be coming on the slow boat from China or something. But that's supposed to remove all that stuff that's in your drains, that's coating your drains, that's making the drain flies come in the first place. And it's also supposed to kill the drain flies. So, we don't know yet. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to do his nose a little bit. He is a smallish doll to be 18 inches long. I just don't believe it. He almost can be a preemie. His arms are just way too long for the size of his head, I think. The size of his tiny little head. I don't know what the circumference is of his head. It tells on the website, but his is little. Just, well, I don't have an 18-inch doll handy, I don't think. I was going to say just to show you the difference, I was going to show you an 18-inch doll. But yet, I don't think I have one made. I think I have Steven right here. I think he's a 19-inch doll. But usually that you can tell little to no difference in the 18 and the 19-inch dolls. But he is super little, especially compared to a big doll like Steven. And I thought Steven was little. This is Lane right here. And this is Steven right here. His hair's not been styled, so y'all don't pay any attention to that. Look how much bigger his head is, though. It's huge. And for him to be just 1 inch smaller of a doll, his head is tiny, I think. Now, if he was an open-eyed baby, he'd take 18 millimeter eyes, probably. You know, I did make a comment once that almost any doll between 18 and 20 inches is going to take 20 millimeter eyes. And that is true. Most of them do. But a doll this tiny, no can do. It's going to take 18, if not 16. His little eyes are just tiny, too. That net is driving me absolutely nuts. I'm just going to have to try to kill it. Sometimes it'll land on you and you can smack it. Kind of like you do a mosquito when they land on you. As far as I know, gnats don't bite. I don't know why they want to fly around you so much. What is that stupid thing? If you see me whack myself, it's going to be because it's landed on me. Boy, the color's taking good on him. Look at how dark that is. That doesn't mean it'll still look this good when I'm finished. When it comes out of the oven, it might be very light. Now, where's my red kabuki? Did I stick it in one of these things? I did. Oh, sorry, y'all. I hate having to reach toward the camera like that, but it was in the very jar that was right straight behind the camera. gonna be a rosy little boy. I guess he's supposed to be a boy. I don't know if Lane's a boy name or a girl name, really. I'm thinking it's a boy name. But I think he'd make a cute little girl still. Just depends on what you want your doll to be. Almost any doll, all you need to do is change the clothes and they can be the other sex. There's a few that just look too boyish to be girls, and there's a few that look too girly to be boys. But the rest of them, to me, it's just about the clothes. He don't have much in his head. I can feel that there's, I don't know, I'm considering, I know you're not supposed to, but I'm considering going back to polyfill. It just fills the head better. We're not supposed to use rags because, well, the polyfill swells when it heats, and it can make your head misshapen. But I don't know. I don't have a tremendous amount of trouble with that. I just know that the rags don't seem to get up in all the little spaces inside the head like it's supposed to. And I'm a little dissatisfied. I just moved him around because his head just squished in way too much. And now it's better. It's still squishing in a really lot right there, which means it could collapse right there. So I don't know if I should put more rags in there or not. I'm feeling I should. Hopefully that'll take care of most of it. Anyway, I'm still not liking how stark that looks in some spots. Be sure to kabuki it around till you like it, because once you bake it, you got it. If you don't have a kabuki, just use your sponge. These denser ones pounce harder than the light ones. So if you need to pounce real hard, you're going to need some of these denser ones. You can get them from Dolls by Sandy. This whole little envelope was only $2. So yeah, I think it had 8 or 10 in it. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's that. So he is painted on his face, mostly. Let's say mostly. I'm going to give him some eyebrows right now because I keep forgetting to give them eyebrows. And I just pencil them on anyway, so it's not that important when you do it, as long as you do it. And I'm trying to follow I don't do fancy single hair eyebrows. I think they're too big and scary looking. I just give them a wispy little line across there that looks like they have an eyebrow. I'm staying right on the brow ridge so they'll match. You know, one side I always have it's this side over here. It's the same size I have trouble with the eye when I'm putting the eyes in. But being left-handed or right-handed does make a difference in how well you can do them. But if you stay on the brow ridge, the eyebrows will be right in the right place and everything. Yep, I like those better than those other kind. They just look more like a newborn baby's eyebrows. Unless you have a really dark-haired baby, and unless it's just a very hairy baby. I never could see my baby's eyebrows anyway when they were newborns. But then they were, one was a blonde and one was a redhead, but they just didn't have eyebrows until they got bigger. I mean, I guess they had them. I just couldn't see them. They had the little hairs on their face too. I'm sure all babies have that, but some of them have it real heavy and dark, and some of them don't. Anyway, that's his face pretty much. I may come back in a few minutes and do his lips, but we're going to move on to his feet first, arms and legs, I mean, not just his feet, his arms as well, and do them a little bit first. And, well, I can't make him sit. Okay, let's do arms and legs first. I like to put blue on the bottom of their feet. However, I'm not getting much blue. If I dipped these when I got finished with them last time, it didn't do much good. Let's put it that way. The blue is going to be very light. That is too light. Let me get this whole little jar out because I just might need to use every brush in here to get any blue on his feet at all. This one looks, oh, this one's got some. I started to say this one looks absolutely unused because the bristles are so straight. That usually means they got dampened which straightened them out, but then they didn't get used, which feathers them out a little bit. I just want just enough to make the bottom of his foot have that little blue half moon thing. It's not super dark, but it doesn't really need to be super dark. As long as it's blue, that's all I say. Because it's not going to show, I don't think. It's just not blue enough. That's the problem with these really, really skinny little brushes. They just don't hold enough paint. Once you do it one time, you've pretty much deleted out all the paint. Depleted, I mean. I don't mean deleted. You can't delete paint. It depletes when you use it. There we go. That's going to be good enough. It's going to have to. Because, well, I just don't know anything else I can do. I think this was a red brush I was using. Yeah, that's a red brush. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a blue one. I'm going to have to... Yeah, that's a blue one. I'm going to have to dip those brushes again. I captured from a picture, I took a screenshot. I don't know if y'all be able to see a screenshot or not, but I want to show it to you in case you can. It was a picture of hands and feet. Super adorable that somebody had painted on their doll. I don't know who the person was, and it's not my picture and not my artwork. But here's the hands and feet. Well, they look very dark in my picture because of these lights, but I don't know, maybe y'all can see them. They're super, super cute. If you can't see them because the light's too dark, probably. I mean, I can't see them on the phone. These lights are so bright, that's why. But that's kind of what I'm going for when I'm painting just fingers or little sections of the fingers, or I'm just painting toes. I want to get that little different look that, I don't know, it's very, very cute is all I know. And it's a color I want on my dolls, but I am having trouble achieving it. I've achieved it a couple times, especially on the hands where they don't color the entire hand, like on the inside of the palm. All these little different sections you can see where in between the lines in his hands, they're just coloring parts of that and not getting as close to the line where it looks like the whole hand is painted. It just looks like that little section got some in it. And it looks really, really cute to me. So I want to do that. It's really hard because, well, hands are sometimes curled up like that. And now, if you have two nice open hands, it's real easy to do. But I like to do just the bottom of the feet for the soles of the feet to be pinkish. And then I go around to the front and I just do the toes. And that's what he, whoever it was who did that picture did. They just did the toes. And I like that look. It's very cute. And now when you do the front and the back of the toes, remember to get the sides or it's going to look super funny to have just the top and the bottom of the toe pink and not the sides. And even though the color pink is kind of what we're after, don't put pink on your doll. Pink is the wrong color. It won't come out in the color pink that you think it will. And it'll be just Barbie pink. You don't want that on your doll. And this is light red, really. And it's going to come out looking a little pinkish. It is, but because it's light red, it's not ever going to look like hot pink or Barbie pink or any of those funny looking pink colors of children's clothes or toys or something. And there you have it, pink toes. I love it. And I'm going to do this foot the same way. Looks like he might need a little more blue. I can't even see the blue on this one, hardly at all. It's very, very vague. May have to use a little wet blue or something, I don't know, to get it to turn blue enough. Or bake it first. Sometimes you have to do that. Once you bake the color that's already on there, it's permanent. You're not going to be taking any of it off or lightening it any by dabbing it or anything like that. And then you can go on with your second coat of blue, and it does a little bit more good than it did putting blue stacked. Stacking colors is okay, but it's much more difficult to obtain the color you want. I do it because I want to minimize the amount of times I have to bake. But you will get better results if you don't stack. If you want to get the best results, bake each layer. There we go, pink toes. Now the fingers are going to be much, much harder because for one thing, they're all curled up. And for another thing, we're not going to paint the entire palm of the hand and, you know, stuff like that like we did on the foot. I just painted the foot. It's pretty much, that's all I did. Now the hands have to be done a special way. I don't know if I can do anything on the inside of this hand. It is so balled up. Look at that. Yes, you can raise these up like this. But when you do that, you're having to hold it up, so you're not going to be able to paint it all that well. And when you let go of it, it curls back down. When you hold it up, you're touching the paint you just put on it, and so you're wiping it off. So it's a vicious cycle, I guess you'd call it. I'm going to try to find some smaller brushes. I have a lot of blush brushes because I use a lot of blush on my dolls. But most of them are really little, tiny, skinny brushes that don't hold hardly any paint. But when you need to get in a tight spot, that's what you need, is a tiny little brush. What we want to do on the fingers is almost make them look like they're striped. We're not going to do the entire section. See, the finger's in 3 sections, just like yours is, a top, a middle, and a bottom. Now, if we just do the whole thing, it just is a pink finger. And if you are going to paint these sections, you have to leave enough white area between them that it looks like different sections were painted. So that's what I'm trying to do, but this brush doesn't have enough paint in it. I'm just going to throw it down there and get another one. This one has some. So if you don't leave those little different sections with no paint, then you might as well just paint the whole finger because you're not going to be able to achieve the look you want anyway. I don't know if you can tell. Like I said, I'm having to touch the top section to bend up the finger, and so it's not going to have as much paint on it. This hand, I don't think I could show it to you. I just don't think I could because of the fact that it's so curled. I'm not even sure I can really paint it. Those fingers are stuck together. Sometimes the sealer does that. It'll stick 2 fingers together, but you can just pull them right apart like that. I just did. No can do on that one. I just don't even think anybody would be able to tell you did it. It's so curly. I'm just going to paint it a little bit. And then on the front of the fingers, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just try to, now on the front of your fingers, well, my hands are so wrinkly and terrible you can't tell. You also have 3 sections. You have this one, and the one up here where your nail is. So we're going to try to do it like that. I don't know how that's going to work out, but here we go. I'm going to do the bottom section of each finger first. Just doing a stripe on it. I'm not coloring the entire section. We don't want the whole section. Now that pinky finger doesn't have but it probably has 3 sections, but I can't see them. It's very difficult. Now this middle section is also very tiny. It's almost like you're just going to put a little stripe of color in there. And then there's the tip. I'm not getting the depth of color because if I press down, more bristles are going to touch the finger, and that's going to make it be a little more spread out on the finger, and you're going to get almost a solid finger color. But that's how I'm trying to make it look. Can you tell? It's got little spaces between the color. At least that's my try. Now I'm going to do the thumb, which is also curled in. Very difficult. Now don't forget about the fact that we have to still do the sides of the fingers. It is not a fun process to try to do this technique. It's very, very hard. Some people just go on and paint the whole finger, which I don't blame them for doing that because it's much, much easier. But this is the effect I was looking for. So I'm going to try it to get it all the way finished on him. It's very, very difficult. All I'm doing is going around the edges of the fingers, trying to make it look like the color doesn't just stop on the top and then pick back up on the bottom. That's weird looking. Okay, now on the palm of the hand, this one you can't see hardly any of the palm, but we only want to color the little sections in between the lines, the big lines, that is. We're not doing every tiny section. But if you, once again, if you color the entire section, it's just going to look like you painted the whole hand anyway, so you might as well just paint the whole hand. What we want to do, which you'll be able to see it much better on this more open hand, what we want to do is just color each section a little bit, kind of in the middle part of it, so that it doesn't look like we're just sloppy painters. We want it to look like it was an effect that we was trying to do. Trying to pick a brush that might actually have some color in it here. Oh, this is very, very difficult. Trying to hold the fingers still and do them at the same time that you don't rub it off. Now, painting this first little section requires you to paint the front, the back, the sides, and the top. Now we're moving on to the second section on this one finger, and I'm just still trying to get some paint out of this brush. It's not coming out very good. And on this one, we only have to go all the way around the finger. We don't actually have to do a top or anything because there's no top. Okay, now I'm going to do the bottom section, then I'll show it to you. Going in between this section, in between the finger and this section, can be beneficial to both fingers because it's a very tight squeeze. It's going to get paint on the other finger too, but that's okay. We're going to paint it too. Let me get another brush. That one's running out already. Okay, this finger is a great example of what I was talking about. You can see on the front 3 distinct different sections. Now here's the back of it right here, and you can see that again. And that's what we're trying to get on our fingers. And that's what I'm trying to get. You might not like it. But if you do, it is achievable. It's a little time consuming though. Once I get finished with these fingers, I'm probably going to go on and bake them. I don't want anything to happen to this extreme finger technique I'm doing. It's going to take a lot of brushes and a lot of swiping and a lot of careful work. And the last thing you want to do is have that messed up because you smudged it trying to do some other technique too. These really, really skinny brushes, I have a feeling don't even have any paint in them. They just don't hold enough to do anything. Yeah, see, nothing's coming out of there. Might as well throw those out. Let me get some brushes out of here. Just grab a handful. I don't know what I'm getting. Not easy. I'm not even going to stop to paint the fingernails and the toenails. I don't want to mess this up. It's very, very difficult. And I might need to touch up some of it on a second coat because some of it's not coming out very dark because, well, I'm having to switch paintbrushes every few minutes and every few strokes, really, because it's just not coming out. Now that's how the fingers look all together. It looks way better once you paint over the top of it. I'm going to do the thumb now. But you can get by with 2 stripes on the thumb because it's so small. There are literally 3 joints on your thumb too, but they're just not as big. And now for the hand. I'm going to be putting the paint in these little sections. Just a little bit in each section. We do not want to color the entire section. You will not have the effect you want if you do. In fact, I can't even see that. Let me try this brush. It has a more feathery tip too. It's not coming out very well because, well, there's not much paint in the brush. We have to get out that other whole thing of paint. Let me just try a bigger brush here. Maybe, just maybe, I can do it. It's going to be super hard, that's all I know. Oh, but this has got so much color in it, so much better. It is way, way harder to do it this way because you risk just getting way too much paint on your doll. But that's about as good as I can do under the circumstances. I'm just going to dab a little bit of the extreme wetness off. I don't know why some of the brushes feel so dry, while others just feel super wet. I am going to darken up some of her fingers a little bit while I have this really, really paint-rich brush in my hand. Try to anyway. If I mess it up, well, I tried. One other thing I want to do is to not have such pale backs of the hand. The inside's painted, the outside, the fingers are painted, but this part is not painted. I just put a little swirl of paint there, just a little, and dab it around like that, just to keep it from being so pale. Now this is how her hand looks on the inside. I don't know if you can tell that the little sections are actually painted separately or not. It's very, very vague. You can barely see it because her hand, his or her hand is so tightly. It's not truly an open hand. It's just partially open, which makes it much, much more difficult. So this is going to be part 1 of Lane. We are going to get him baked, or her, I don't know. May make it a her, I don't know yet. And we're going to get come back and do part 2 of the enhancements, because like I said, I don't want to mess up what I've already done. It just looks too good to me. And there we go. And it's bake time, so we're going to stop the video here at 40 minutes. And I want to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.